Salute to all the real ones out there. It's your boy Mike coming at you again with another video. Alright, and if you like the direction that my channel is headed in, I need y'all to like, comment, subscribe, and share these videos with anybody you think may benefit from them, alright? Now the thing is, I really need y'all help, man. If you like the videos and you've been checking them out, man, click like, you know what I'm saying? I know it sounds cliche, but the thing is that improves my YouTube algorithm so that my videos will start to get more views from other people, which will help grow my channel. Like I eventually want to get my stuff monetized so that, when money comes in from YouTube, I'll be able to purchase a camera and, just make higher quality content. But, thank you for everybody who's been watching this stuff so far. It really means a lot to me to know that I'm having at least a little bit of an impact. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So today's topic is going to be on the 4 hidden jewels of pain. All right. So I feel like all the pain that we go through in our lives, if we take a minute to really analyze what we went through, there are 4 hidden jewels, and they are: you have your lesson or lessons, you have your truth or truths, you also have your progress, and then at the end there's a little bit of love in that pain. Okay, so at the root of everything that causes pain, there are valuable lessons and truths to be unearthed and learned from. Hence the mantras, "the truth hurts," or like rapper Ja Rule back in the day. For all y'all know him, he had a tattoo on his chest that said "pain is love." Like somewhere that's a little bit true if you really think about it. So I'm going to get into the details here in a second. But there's a purity that exists within everything painful. It's learning to extract the lessons that lie within those things that will help one to free him or herself in a major way, leading to more progress and love in his or her life. So some examples of like how pain can reveal these 4 jewels. We'll take an easy one. So think about like pain in the gym. So the lesson: reality is speaking to the fact that you are weaker now than you will be in the future. Pain can, in this case, be considered to be weakness leaving the body. So for all of you guys, notice that like even on your first set, let's say you're doing, we'll make it easy, bench press, right? Usually you have to do some type of warming up in order for your muscles to like get ready for that movement of being able to lower the bar down to your chest and push it back up. And notice that your first set is usually a little bit uncomfortable. You know what I mean? It's like, because your body, maybe for however long you haven't been lifting weights, is back to its homeostasis, which is the state of being in its natural vibe, natural flow. So when you wake up in the morning, when you move about, there's nothing about you that's really going through that motion. So it'll hurt like your first set, but then after that, once the blood gets flowing and your muscles are knowing what's coming next, it gets a little bit easier, even if you make the weight harder. So that's like one of the hidden things that you notice within that pain, is that there's a lesson in there. The second thing is that there's a truth, which means the truth is telling you that you have to keep on pushing. Your muscles are being stimulated to struggle now, and they will later become stronger. That's just a fact within, let's say, this example. Then there's progress. So you will have gradual strength gains over time due to consistency and hard work. And last but not least, you have love, which in a way, you've just blessed yourself with a more fit, toned, and healthier body that you will appreciate when you look in the mirror. So that's a form of self-love right there. Even Nelly back in the day, when y'all remember Nelly, like I know we got some young cats on my videos and stuff, but if you guys remember Nelly, he came out with his hit single, which was, I think, was Country Grandma, right? Back then he was like real skinny. I want to say he was maybe about 140, maybe 150 pounds. He was cut up and shit like that. He never looked weak, but he was real skinny. But then at one point he started like really hitting the gym, and I think it was a GQ magazine interviewed him when they saw that he had put on about 20 to 30 pounds of muscle. And in the interview, he basically said that a nice body is the best gift that you can give to yourself, you know. And of course, it takes pain and sacrifice in order to develop a nice body. So, a second example is that you have pain in relationships. Now, check this out. The lesson is whenever you're experiencing pain and you're with somebody, that your relationship is being tested. And I feel like the universe is trying to see like whether it's worthwhile or not for you two to remain together. The truth of that pain is saying that sometimes people come into our lives for a reason. They may help us to develop ourselves in ways that may not have been able to do without their presence in our lives. Most love relationships are not meant to last forever. Hence, if you look at divorce and how certain people start off blazing in love and very passionate, and then years later they grow apart and they wind up breaking up. But all of them serve a purpose and can be learned from in order to grow as individuals. Then you have progress. If you two endure and overcome the pain in your relationship, then you two will go stronger together and can blossom and elevate to a better level of understanding and awareness within that union. But if the relationship has served its purpose and you two are meant to go separate ways, the pain will continue and will not subside as a way to show you that the union should end so that you two can both travel on your individual journeys to enlightenment. So if I'm in a relationship and it's been going bad and it just continues going bad and I'm ignoring all the signs that it's just really over, that pain won't go away. It will just maybe change forms and increase in its intensity to the point where myself and the other person will have to come to the conclusion that we're better off not being together. Then you have love. The love is in the form of the growth that you experience while with that person. The key takeaways of being with that particular person may enrich your life by placing you on the path that you were destined to travel on. The awakening of your soul and the maturation of your emotions will also take place. So by you experiencing pain in your relationship, there's still going to be some type of growth that you experience. You know, and that's what I'm trying to highlight as that last point. So even with the suffering that you went through, there's still some type of beauty that takes place if you can really take a step back and analyze what I just read there. Another example, something that even affects me, is the pain of PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder. So you have a lesson. First thing is that after going through a traumatic event, your mind and body will always attempt to work through the pain. This can be felt via reoccurring issues, visions, dreams, or habits that can plague you forever until you become triumphant over that pain. Escapism, drugs, sex, and any other vices may trap you until you uncover this lesson. Now, I've definitely seen this. You know, like I was a medic, airborne medic in the U.S. Army, deployed twice to Iraq, and like I seen some guys that were on missions where maybe somebody died or whatever, and due to the fact that they were experiencing PTSD, they lashed out in self-destructive ways and didn't seek help, thinking that it would make them look weak, you know, to talk about what they saw or to uncover the pain that they were experiencing. So often you would see them, like when we would get back from Iraq, every weekend they were just trash drunk. You know, they stopped really caring about their own lives because they maybe felt like it was their fault, or they just couldn't handle the trauma. You see what I mean? So that pain is, you know, giving you a lesson, which basically means that you're going to continue to have nightmares, dreams, epiphanies, and maybe just a self-destructive attitude because your body is trying to work through whatever you experienced during that PTSD or during whatever caused you PTSD. You have a truth, which is that you must fully relive the trauma and experience the full spectrum of emotions that it entails in order to truly free yourself from the pain and rise from those ashes of pain like a phoenix. So that's definitely the case, man. I've had it happen to me. Just realizing that, like, if I was upset about something that I seen in Iraq, it was important for me to revisit that exact situation, feel it as if it just happened again, and maybe it was meant for me to cry. Maybe it was meant for me to be angry that there was nothing I could do, or the fact that I realized that this person died and the real reason for the war is not what we think it is. You see what I mean? There's nothing I can do about it, but I can control my emotions, or I can put myself in a position where I go through those emotions in order to overcome whatever past event caused me PTSD. Then you have progress, all right? By doing what you have to do to overcome the issue, you embrace your emotions and finally let go of all the pain that has tortured you this entire time, which allows you to then move forward and live a more fulfilling life. Nobody can live a fulfilling life if you're always holding on to past pain and hurt, because it would just really limit how well you can live in the present day if you're holding on to whatever happened back in the past. It's almost like you're not fully in the present because your mind is so occupied with fighting demons from whenever something happened. Then you have love, being able to forgive yourself or the situation. Your vulnerability will make you stronger in the end. Sorry about that. Will make you stronger in the end. Feeling your darkest emotions will empower you to feel your brightest emotions with more intensity. You can unlock happiness by conquering inner demons of those past events. All right. And last but not least, I have the pain of rejection. There's still valuable lessons to be learned within that. So one lesson or lessons is that reality is hindering your success for reasons that you may be unaware of, and the rejection is a test that either forces you to adopt or adapt or makes you quit, and the choice is yours. All right. So let's say I'm like a door-to-door vacuum cleaner salesman, but my approach is whack, or the way that I'm carrying myself does not exude confidence or make the people compelled to buy my vacuum cleaners. Like, the lesson is that, hey, I'm not making money and I'm going from door to door and I keep getting rejected. And right now I have the choice to adapt and figure out a new way to sell these vacuum cleaners, or I can just quit, which is the easy way out. The truth of facing rejection as a vacuum cleaner salesman, for example, is that I might not be vibrating on the same frequency of that which I am hoping to manifest. So let's say I'm expecting to sell I want to sell in my head 10 different vacuum cleaners, but then I'm walking around thinking, oh, well, the last dude just rejected me, he's probably going to reject me too. And then I carry that attitude over to the next door and the next door and the next door. There's a high chance that I'm just going to get rejected even more because I'm not vibrating on the frequency of somebody who believes that they're going to sell 10 vacuum cleaners today. It's a whole nother energy, and it's something you can tap into if you're up here in sync with what you want. So I mentioned that your confidence and belief in yourself might not be high enough to convince other people to buy your vacuum cleaners. You may need many more rejections in order to discover a winning strategy. All right, so what's the progress in the case of the vacuum cleaner salesman? Over time, you will become an expert at handling rejection and facing adversity and being told no repeatedly. This adaptation will result in having you learning a winning strategy on how to get what you want. Because after facing so many people rejecting you, if you stick with it, you'll eventually figure out what works for you after you make your first sale. Then you can modify and adapt based on the progress you just received from your first sale. Then you have love. All right, so the love will be experienced when you have personal growth that translates over into other aspects of life. Where the fear of rejection holds others back, You will flourish due to a mentality that has gone through the trials and tribulations of said rejection. So that's just in any example you want to name. Even if I take it away from vacuum cleaner salesman and I just go to a dude who is like a pickup artist, he always wants to go holler at females. At one point in time, he wasn't so good at whatever he, let's say, has as game in order to attract women. He might have got rejected a whole bunch of times in high school or a whole bunch of times in middle school, but he kept working at it and figured out a way to seduce a woman, for example. And now he's leaps and bounds ahead of his peers, but he had to put that work in, and then the work in was basically enduring rejection. So there's still four hidden jewels, even though the average person hates getting rejected. And there are other examples that I could name, but I figure those four could hit home to some of you guys. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll holler back at y'all.